Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Weird Snake Girl. Alright guys, so you know from the title of the video that I messed up. I made a few mistakes that are beginner based. Oh dude, you're getting a little tight. Oh goodness, hi. This is Mocha Bean, by the way. We are socializing and he's actually doing really well. But I made a few beginner mistakes. So to update you guys, the enclosure got here and I tried recording putting it together and my child could not leave the camera alone. So unfortunately most of that recording is me arguing with my child and oh gosh, here we go, and him moving the camera. So unfortunately I did not get that put together, but I do have some footage of when it was done and when we moved him in. Now originally I started with aspen bedding because I was planning on having a humidity box for him, and unfortunately the humidity box that I had originally planned on having did not work out. He wouldn't use it, he was not a huge fan of it, and that is also my fault because I had a clear tub and he did not feel secure in it. So yeah, so that didn't work out, and I realized within the first 2 days that it was not going to be good. So we went and got some cocoa chip bedding and that has worked out. The only other issue is I realized something else. I didn't have a whole lot of cover for him, and I still technically don't. So he currently has 3 hides in there, one on each side, the hot and cold side, and one kind of in the middle that's shaped like a rock. And after moving him into his new enclosure, he did not want to eat. And we had fed him only once before when he was in his tub. He ate like a pro then. He struck at it, he wrapped it, he killed the dead mouse, and it was good. This is also my fault. So we had moved him in to his big enclosure on, I believe, a Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday, and feeding day in my household for him is currently set to Friday. So I thought that would be enough time, but because I had to switch in between, look at that face, look at that face. Because I had to switch in between, the different substrates, he had been handled a lot more in that week than I was anticipating because, we hadn't had him for long yet. He had only eaten 1 meal with us, and so I was anticipating it to go a lot smoother. Let's get you situated again. And unfortunately it did not. As you can see, he's moving around a lot, he's exploring, he's very relaxed other than, feeling like he's got to hold on to my neck, which he's not squeezing. He's just kind of wiggling. But, we tried to feed him the first time after moving him into his enclosure. He seemed interested, but he didn't want to eat it. And so we left it in there for pretty much all day, and he still wouldn't touch it. So unfortunately that rat went to waste. And then we waited a couple of days to try and let him kind of settle in, and we tried feeding him again a different rat, and he didn't take that one either. So we went ahead and Figured out, I was like, you know what? It's later in the evening. He should be up. He should be moving around soon. So why don't we go ahead and just leave it under his hide and see if he'll eat it? Well, the good news is he did. He did. So I don't have a feeding video for him because, you know, I have the attempts, but he ended up eating it when we left it under his hide. And a couple hours later, went to go check on him, and sure enough, the rat was gone, and I was overjoyed. So, and I didn't film that part because I thought that I was just going to be throwing away another rat. So that's on me. But yeah, so I messed up quite a bit. It was the classic, you know, new keeper mistake. I had done my research. I thought that I knew what I was doing. I did not. I did not. That, and every single snake is a little bit different. He also, at the breeders, was kept very differently than what I have tried to keep him. He was in a much smaller enclosure, which makes him feel more secure. I'm planning on buying some fake plants to go in his enclosure, and I'm going to be inserting a crap ton of B-roll of him, because when we first put him in his enclosure, he was exploring and it was great, and he looked so good, so happy. But yeah, the current setup is definitely different than what we originally had in there. I now have a walking stick for him to climb on in his enclosure, and so far I haven't seen him use it, but we do have that in there. And yeah, I messed up. I messed up big time, and if I wouldn't have been willing to admit that, and if I would have, you know, just kept going with what I was going, there's a good possibility I could have killed my snake. And so the biggest message that I want to put out there is to make sure that you do your research from multiple sources, have multiple ways of doing things under your belt, so that you can figure out what works best for you and your animal. There's a bunch of different ways to do a single thing. There are a lot of different people who are successful at keeping ball pythons in many different ways. For instance, breeders. Breeders have little tubs in racks, and the snakes are thriving and happy and healthy. You know, they have their hides, they get socialized when the breeder is walking through and checking on everyone. They're able to, you know, do their business. They're able to eat. It's no problem. And then you have some of the keepers like myself who are doing it as pets. And, you know, we have the big tanks. We have all the clutter, all the fake plants, real plants, however you do it. If you do bioactive, that's great. I might go towards that once I get a little bit more experience. But yeah, I messed up. I messed up big. And if I wouldn't have been willing to admit that I was wrong, then there's a very big chance of causing damage to my snake. Luckily though, because I was able to figure out what I did wrong and what I needed to do, he is happy. You can see we got our first year rate from him, which is great. It means he's nice and hydrated here. Hi. Yeah, where are you going? Where are you going? He is socializing extremely well. I can open his hide and he'll be asleep, and I'll give him just a little touch and he doesn't get super scared anymore. He relaxes pretty much right away as soon as I pick him up, which is great. He explores every chance that he gets, as you can see. He's currently going down my back. He's also not used to this room yet. I am planning a surprise, and there's a good chance that he will end up moving into this room, which would be awesome because it'll make it a lot easier to film, because his enclosure currently is on the other side of the house from my bedroom. But yeah, he is doing really well. He's eating for us, frozen thawed rat pup a week, and so far he hasn't pooped yet, he hasn't shed for us yet, but he's looking fantastic. I mean, look at those colors. I'm honestly kind of curious if he is part special morph, because if you look at where the whites are, they go up quite a bit. Ooh, I'm sorry, bud. You see that? I booped his nose and he didn't even like recoil. Like, he's doing so well. So well. He's not nearly as head shy as he used to be. But yeah, he's doing really well, and hopefully we will get him even more comfortable in his enclosure moving forward, because that is the reason why he didn't want to eat. He's not comfortable in his enclosure. I will, if you guys want, I'll do a whole video on reasons why ball pythons won't eat, because there's always a reason. Always a reason. But yeah, he's moving around. He's doing good. Oh, so we did get him to stretch out for us the other day. He is almost 3 feet long. He's like 2.5 feet. And he still has some growing to do. He's still pretty little. So, going from terrified to handling this baby boy like this. And he's so sweet. He is just the absolute sweetest. I mean, my child has definitely held him literally this morning. He did so good. Yeah, I just figured I would update you guys and get you guys in the know. Now, yet again, there are some surprises coming once I can figure out some bills and stuff. Hey, why are you, like, strong-arming me? Yeah. And we'll go from there. But thanks for watching. Please enjoy the B-roll. I'm probably going to have that AI song that I had in the second video in there, because I love it. It is so ridiculous that I love it. And it's an AI song. I got the rights. And so technically it's my AI song, and I love it. So y'all are gonna... There's a reason I'm called Weird Snake Girl. But, alright. Well, thanks for coming. Hi. And we'll see you in the next one. So, editor's note, there's actually going to be a part 2 of this next week. We are posting things every Friday so far. So, you know, if it's already come out by the time you're watching this, there will be a link up here. But part 2 with all the actual B-roll and all the good things. Bye.